everyone, and welcome back to the Marketer of the Day podcast. We are joined today by Mr. Drew Griffin from deliciousmarketing.io. And Drew is going to tell you all about what he does and how he can help you and to grow your business. And one thing that Drew has innovated with that really impressed me when I first heard about him was this concept called local media assets, where you can get some of these local clients, you can network with local businesses in your area and provide these services that are really easy for you to do, that are very much needed and very much in demand, that pay very well on a recurring basis. So I'll let Drew tell you all about this and all about what he does. So Drew, glad to be talking to you today.
Robert, it's really a privilege to hang out with you. I've been a huge fan and a customer of yours for quite some years here. And man, what an amazing opportunity to connect with you here on your podcast. It's truly a privilege.
Awesome. And we'll have to go the other way and have me on your podcast as well. And I've seen that a lot of that is with your bread and butter is you are very much in terms, I see a lot of like giving and abundance, and you're not just about what can I hold back or what can I take from other people. You're all about how can I help other people out. And I think I'm hoping that we can touch on some of that today on just how, there's a lot of things that used to work and a lot of things that used to work up to maybe even 5-10 years ago, right? You used to be able to say, well, I make websites, or I'll get you ranked on Google, or I'll place you on social media. And as we both know, sometimes that's not going to cut it in this day and age, right?
That's correct. Just a few short years ago, and we started to see a shift that was happening in the local marketing. For full transparency, I was struggling. I was having a real hard time connecting with local businesses, and I knew that I knew a lot about this stuff, right? This stuff that we all do in the local marketing space, whether it's SEO or website development or app development or, social posting or blog writing, whatever it might be, right? We just realized that it was becoming harder and harder and harder to connect with local businesses. And we just saw a major shift in the industry to the point where we had a decision to make, right? So I had to figure something out because we were struggling. And there were times before the struggle, the major shift in the industry, that we realized that we were having a good time. Money was good, we were serving clients and that sort of thing. And then the shift happened, and we realized there were so many people entering the market and the space that it was very hard to differentiate yourself. And even with clients that we were working with for a number of years, they started to see options. Right? It was the whole bright, shiny object syndrome that so many people go through, that it was happening in the local marketing space too. So our clients were starting to be inundated by other people that offered the same services, and sometimes at a major discount from what we were offering. So we had a decision. We had a decision to make, like, hey, do we race to the bottom with our pricing, or do we do something a little bit different? And I think that's what we're here to talk to you about today.
Yeah, and I think that in some way or another, everyone listening has this fear or has gone through some form of this cycle where you discover something. You say, I found an easy way to make money, or something that's consistent, and you're early and you're a trailblazer, and that's not fun sometimes because you have to do things the hard way, or the right tools don't exist yet, or you have to figure a lot of things out, but you're early and you make some of that money. And then as everyone else sees what you're doing, there's somewhat of that slow decline. And then you begin to wonder, is it me, or should I just hold out and hope that things keep heading, like maybe things will turn around magically on their own, or do I try to play catch up with all these other people that came after me? And so when this was happening to you, I only know a little bit about your backstory. My understanding is that you were working for some other agency. Is that right? Like at this point where you were like working as part of a team, I thought.
Yeah, so I owned my own agency at the time, and I made some friendships in the industry, and my business partner is David Calafiore. He ran a similar agency on the other side of Pennsylvania. So I live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and David is from Pittsburgh, which is the western part of Pennsylvania. And we were doing the exact same thing, very similar markets, and we realized just through discussing, like, hey, what's going on in your business? What's going on in my business? we got to do something different. And we had very similar ideas behind this, and we just knew that we had to do something differently. Prior to doing all this, a number of years back, in a former life, I spent 25 years in healthcare as a hyperbaric wound care nurse, which has nothing to do with internet marketing or local marketing whatsoever. But the transition happened around the advent of the iPhone. I saw towards the end of my career when the iPhone came out and the SDK, I saw an opportunity to help patients in a little bit of a different way with tech. And I ended up developing one of the first apps to help diabetics track blood glucoses, blood sugars, more or less like, their blood values and that sort of thing. And after the first couple of weeks of that app being out on the market, we saw about 33,000 downloads very, very quickly. There weren't that many apps back in the day. And I realized, man, I'm going to be able to touch a lot more lives using and leveraging emerging technology, and be able to be in pretty much everyone's pocket, right? They're not their money or their wallet, but necessarily on their mobile device. And seeing that really inspired me to get out of the clinic and start to touch people in a little bit different way with internet marketing and that sort of thing. So that's kind of like the genesis of my process into the local marketing space. I needed to learn to market that app and other things that I was doing out there, helping people with SMS text messaging and how to get their name out there on Facebook and how to build websites and all that kind of stuff. So transition kind of took a number of years. And then I was really found a lot of love helping local businesses leverage emerging technology. Whenever they are, whatever the technology might be coming out, I'm kind of an early adopter, and I like to leverage that stuff to get results for myself, my business, and other local businesses. So melding all that stuff together really culminated in what has emerged into what we call a local media asset. And fast forwarding a number of years, and why we're actually transitioning out of the traditional local marketing agency where we go in and we sell our services, we realized that we were just a commodity, right? Like many other local marketing agencies, we were competing with people that either didn't know what they were doing, but they were decent salespeople. They were not afraid to go through the door and ask for the sale at a much lower cost. And then they needed to figure this out. Right? And that still holds true today. There's a lot of people out there doing Facebook marketing and Facebook advertising. They know how to sell the product, but they don't know how to most effectively get the end result that the customer really wants. So we saw, a lot of challenges. A lot of people came out and it doesn't cost anything for anybody to make a business card up or hang their shingle out in front of their house and call themselves a local marketer or an internet marketer or whatever it might be. And so we call them Me Too's, right? So there's like Me Too agencies out there. I do the exact same thing. I offer SEO. I do WordPress blogs. I do this. I do that. There's, a dime a dozen. You can pretty much find them everywhere. And that's not a denigration of people that really truly love that kind of stuff. It's just, how do you differentiate yourself? So here we are, right? We need a decision to make. So we said, hey, let's make our own asset. Let's sell ourselves in a different way. And now we started developing this concept of what's called a local media asset, becoming a media company that actually has all the attention that these people want, these local businesses want, these businesses, companies, local shops, and all that kind of stuff. They're looking for attention. They're looking for results from that attention. How do we provide that in a way that's much different than everybody else? So that's where we are. Local media assets is the framework, what we're about to talk about.
Awesome. So that gives us really good insight into your thought process here. So I'm hearing a lot of your, I guess, life strategy is to get something that's working, be deep in it, whether that's healthcare or getting these local clients, but then you also have an eye on whatever emerging technology is. And then you look at, well, where's the gap, right? What's the problem that is not being solved in a convenient way, like with diabetics or with these local businesses getting the word out there. And as far as you like making the jump, and I'm excited to jump in to talk about local media assets in a second too, but right before we get there, when you created this first app, or when you and David came up with this local media asset concept, was it like something that you thought about for years, or did you just like jump in, get something out there quick, and then refine it? Like, are you a slow or a fast mover on this sort of stuff?
Well, kind of a little bit of both, and that's probably not the answer you're looking for. But let's talk about the app for just a second, right? I've been working in that industry for 25 years, and I see the same problem over and over and over again that was not solved in an easy way, right? So diabetics, unfortunately, in that industry, I saw people at their worst every single day, making the same mistakes over and over and over. A lot of habitual type of things. So how do you make a difference in those lives? So the technology allowed us to provide a journal of sorts, and realizing that if they could convey that information and identify and more or less record their patterns that cause to a denigration of their body or their condition and their skin and all that other kind of stuff, maybe we could teach them how to modify their diets, their activities, and that sort of thing, where their main root problem would be positively affected by just making a couple of small changes, right? So realizing that a lot of these people had this technology in their pockets, this is a better and easier way for us to communicate, their daily patterns to a physician or to their team, their medical team. And I just said, hey, I need to create this. This is going to be a great way to, my problem was I was only able to see so many patients per hour. But if I could provide a tool that helped diabetics across the world communicate their daily patterns to their physician and their care team, well, wouldn't that be a great way to really provide value to that community? So that process and actually getting it developed, learning the language, programming, and finding some assistance of people to help me get that done and out to the market became a very interesting transition in my life. And, learning a programmer's way and working with the team to build out frameworks and all that kind of stuff where we can communicate and get a product done really became the backbone of identifying problems and then solving those problems in a very unique way. And fast forward a number of years, there's been a bunch of those types of successes and a lot of failures in between. And the culmination is now, moving towards what David and I were kind of a different problem that we were experiencing and many other people are experiencing, right? It's not just us. There's other local marketers and agencies and people that are working as independent consultants that face the same problem, right? How do you get that next customer? How do you get that next client? And when you're competing against a sea of local marketers or established companies that have databases and capital and all that other kind of stuff where they can prospect, much faster and much more cheaply to them, then, how do you compete? How do you survive in that type of world if this is the direction that you want to go? So fast forward a number of years, if we didn't necessarily have to prospect, wouldn't that be a cool thing, right? Instead of getting, trying to get off of that client getting merry-go-round, what if we switched the table a little bit and created something where the client started to come to us because we had all the attention? Right. So let's just say, for example, hey, Internet Marketer Magazine, right? Well, we'll call it. I don't want to call any other. I don't want to get sued or anything. But let's just think of a magazine or a journal that serves the industry of people that like to start businesses. We'll just call it the big E, right? Well, let's say that magazine came to you and said, Robert, we would love to feature you on the cover of our magazine. We'd love to do a feature on you and learn a little bit more about your book and about your software that you create and your business. Versus, Robert, hey, we've got this thing over here and we'd love to sell this to you because it's going to bring you attention. Which one are you going to go for?
I don't want to go. I don't want to pay you money for that thing. I'd rather be on the cover and talk about myself.
There you go. Very easy way for us to develop a relationship. So effectively what we're doing is we're creating our own media company, which is based around news and events in a local space. And we command all the attention because we can effectively compete with some of the major media companies, newspapers, television stations much quicker, much more rapidly, and deliver the exact same information that everyone's looking for some of those other companies, but without a paywall, right? And it's a really killer way for us to harness and attract a lot of attention from the local space. Well, if we've got a lot of attention from people that live in Philadelphia, right, and all those people are in Philadelphia and they're interested in local Philadelphia events and local Philadelphia news and Philadelphia sports and memes and all that other kind of stuff, their audience starts to grow. And when you've got that audience, this is exactly what local businesses, whether they're pizza parlors or sandwich shops, fast food joints, physicians, attorneys, accountants, HVAC companies, car dealers, et cetera, they want the attention of the people that are in their local space. So now we've got something that they truly want. Well, when we partner with those people and feature them in such a cool way, and we bring them some attention in advance, results in advance in the form of attention, whether that's viewership on their videos or likes or engaging posts, engagements and reactions on Facebook posts and Instagram and that sort of thing, or even a plethora of nice comments about a local restaurant, that is a dopamine response for a lot of businesses. They don't experience that from local newspapers and local magazines and that sort of thing. They do get if they're on the cover of a magazine to a certain degree, but the instant and ongoing feedback that they typically get on a social media platform is what fuels this. So if you've got the attention, now you've got something that's truly amazing. You've got the results in advance that they're already looking for and the likely reactions and comments and shares and all that other kind of stuff. When you do something like a local business spotlight video where we drop by and say, hey, Robert, we've heard a lot about your business. We've heard a lot about Backup Creator and this amazing book that you've read. We'd love to interview you about this and get your thoughts on this. You come on, we do a little 5-10 minute little interview. We put that out into the world and we get a bunch of results in advance. And then the cool thing is when we show them that we've got results, we can go back and perhaps sell them something else later on down the road in the form of consultation or some of the other services that we provide. And most of the time, more so than not, they're taking us up on those types of offers compared to all the other Me Too's who are coming in there and asking for the sale right away and trying to serve them up with something that they've got no relationship whatsoever. And they're just another number of salespersons that are coming through the door. And it's been a tremendous and relieving experience to own and operate what we call a local media asset.
Well, you're making a lot of sense here. And to get into your mindset, one thing that really stuck with me as far as what you were saying here is that you're looking for the repeat problem, right? And because I think that a lot of us have that issue of, well, I want to make some app or I want to make some platform or some website, and there's always a million ideas, right? And the danger is sometimes is solving a stupid problem or solving a problem that either no one wants solved or that someone else has solved better. I mean, imagine creating your own Facebook or your own YouTube today. How the heck would you compete with that? But what you're saying is you're looking for the repeat problems that are not solved, that keep coming your way, that keep coming across your radar as far as what you're already doing in your business or as far as what you're already doing to make money, whether it's being a nurse or dealing with local clients in whatever current version of your business is. You see the same problem coming again and again, and eventually that solution presents itself. And as far as this getting local clients thing, I mean, me and Lance tried it before he came your way, and it was a nightmare. It was a lot of work, a lot of prospecting, a lot of sending out letters, emails, walking into businesses, and it seemed very old-fashioned. There was a lot of the only people that we could really get talking to us were the low end and the high end, right? The low end people, they had no budget. They wanted things for free. I could walk into that dentist's office and talk to them because they had no patience, because the dentist themselves was manning the front desk. Or I could walk in to a dentist's office and there were 5 receptionists up front, all with headsets, all talking, and they could talk to me because they were talking to people all day long. And then the people that we ended up making money from and helping were more of the middle class, but then that was very hit or miss. Sometimes they wanted something really specific, or once we landed them, it was jumping through hoops just to keep them. And we thought there had to be a better way. And so what you're explaining here, as far as setting up that local publication, that local social media presence, getting the attention for them, getting the results in advance, getting these local videos, it seems like your way, your new spin on it, kind of going back to the mindset of like with the diabetics, you're saying, well, it's just about, you're almost on the right track, but let's make some small tweaks. Let's add some additional habits to move things in a different direction. Your spin on this is, instead of going to them, you're getting them to come to you. And then once they come to you, you're not trying to land that big deal, big contract. You're saying, let me help you out with something small. And then you're building the relationship over time. And then there are more services, more problems that you can solve for them moving forward.
Yeah, exactly. In this model, the LMA model, or the local media asset model, it's a true asset, right? And you're not going to work with every client forever, but there's a ton of local businesses who want to leverage that attention that you already have. And the sales cycle could be short, it could be long, and everything in between. But the opportunity here is, if you're focusing in and delivering value to your local community, let's reverse it for just a little bit in terms of psychology. You're not advertising to the entire world or to the entire country, right? You're talking about a local space where you live. You live and you play in your backyard, right? So in my neck of the woods, there's about 17 to 20,000 people. Not a lot of people, but still, if you think about it, you're typically interested. If you hear, hey, there was a robbery, or there was an accident, or there was a house fire, or somebody did something really, really cool, and they're getting a lot of media attention, and they live in your backyard, right? If there's a local celebrity, or there's an athlete that made it, to the NFL or to the NHL or NBA or something like that, you have a sense of pride in your local area, right? And maybe there's 2 towns over that, you're familiar with it, but it's not your hometown. It's not your borough. It's not your subsection of the city. If somebody makes the news, hey, something happened in my local area, you're going to pay a little bit more of attention to it. It really, truly matters. And if you can serve it in a unique flavor, a unique way where you're delivering that type of information, benefit from by owning a local media asset, you can do some very interesting things.
Cool. I apologize. You cut out for the last minute or so.
Sorry about that. I'll recap very briefly.
All right.
If you've got a local media asset, you've got a local audience of people that are very interested in information that is local, right? If something's happening in your backyard, this is what people are paying attention to. If you've got something like a burning house or a crime or something that really cool that's affecting your local community, those people are going to be interested much more. They're going to be much more interested in that information versus something that's regional, right? Or something that's national. They still might have that kind of value, but the is a lot less, right? So once you've built this audience that is really, really interested in your information, now you've got something of value that you can lend that attention to other local list of people that are interested in your stuff and your information about local businesses. Well, now you're just making the introduction. That's it. You're just making an introduction between a local business and the list that's interested in their deals or their business and what makes them unique inside your local community. It's almost impossible to get to know every local business from a consumer perspective. But if that's your business and you're making connection, you can refer the local physician, the attorney, the HVAC guy, the tire people, make it interesting and make it fun to do business with those people. Now you've got something. You've got something that's much more easy. And what will happen and what does happen in this process is other local businesses will recognize the traction and the results that you're delivering to a local business because it's visual and people start to talk. So one popular thing that we do on just to illustrate some of the results and the success that we've got, we've run contests on our page. And recently, and at the time of this recording, we're in the NFL season. So in our area, the Philadelphia area, we've got this passionate fan base around the Philadelphia Eagles. And we do this pretty cool thing that we do this guess the final score contest between the Philadelphia Eagles and whoever they might be playing. And it's a cool thing, right? So a lot of people, we don't make it about the business other than, hey, we're giving away a $50 gift card or a $100 gift card to this local restaurant. And the person that's going to win this is the person that guesses the winner and the closest final score of this contest, right? So it's the Philadelphia Eagles versus, I don't know, the Atlanta Falcons. In this format, tell me who's going to win and what the closest final score is. Like who's the winner? Philadelphia Eagles 35, the Atlanta Falcons 27. Now there's only going to be one person, right? One person that's going to win this $50 gift card or $100 gift card. They're going to guess the Philadelphia Eagles or whoever the winner is and the closest final score. The first person to do that is going to win. And this is how the rules, break down. Well, what starts to happen is inside this, we're leveraging Facebook Messenger. And from a tech perspective, you can do something really cool where a messenger bot pops up and kind of walks them through this entire automation process. Here's how it works. We put the description up there that it describes the contest. And then you see a litany of people that are starting to comment on this Facebook post. Philadelphia Eagles 35, Atlanta Falcons 27. And it goes on and on and on. Falcons 21, Philadelphia Eagles 3, right? Obviously, they're going to be wrong because they're rooting for the Atlanta Falcons. If you can't tell I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan by now, there you go. And what we typically see are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments from people that start to trigger the messenger bot. And in the back end, what the messenger bot is really designed to do is to grab their email address. So now you put them on a Facebook Messenger bot list as well as an email list. Well, these are all now leads for that company that we're working with, right? So it might be, I don't know, Giovanni's 724 Pizza Place, right? They're going to give away a $50 gift card, and in return, they're getting a list, an email list, probably 400, 500, 600 people in the local area that love pizza and love their business, right? How easy is that, right? It's an amazing way to leverage an audience that we already have and put that in front of people that love football and that love pizza. Very, very cool way to do this. And other businesses can do the exact same thing. You don't necessarily have to be a pizza business, but let's just say you're, a local dentist, right? Hey, we love pizza. We know that you love pizza too. You got to take care of your teeth. But for this weekend and this week only, we're going to promote the Philadelphia Eagles upcoming game, and we're going to give away a $50 gift card to a local business. Great way for them to network. Two businesses working together to build out one list that loves both of this stuff, right? But here's the cool thing. We own the audience. We have built up the audience, and that's exactly what these local businesses want. And it's why they keep on coming back to us week after week to run a new promotion. By the way, once we get those amazing results, what else can we provide, right? We can do SEO if we wanted to. We can outsource and say, hey, Robert Plank does WordPress websites. He's our guy, right? If you want to create membership courses or if you want to write a book, he's the guy that you want to get in touch with, right? And we work out some kind of deal that way. Fantastic way to get your foot through the door, make a little bit of money up front, deliver amazing results for these local businesses while at the same time building out our asset, which is the attention, and more and more and more people come to see news and events and participate in our contest and a bunch of other things that we've got going on in the background. And it's less of a sale, right? They want results, and they understand advertising. They understand attention. And when you can deliver that in such a way where you're not knocking on the door and saying, hey, Mr. Business Owner, I've got something to sell you. Now you're developing relationships that truly work. You become a trusted advisor to them. And sometimes it's not about the sale. It's really about developing the relationship. And then they're a connector to another business who absolutely want to work with you to, start to get the attention that we already have.
This is super cool. And what I like a lot about the way that you're explaining this is it's easy to start. And then there are a lot of possibilities as far as growing it and taking it you can take it as far as you want, right? Into all kinds of crazy newfangled relationships. And I mean, you're so right about this need for the locality, because there's the Nextdoor app, things like that, which are kind of okay. Sometimes there are like Facebook groups for certain cities or certain neighborhoods, but then sometimes you get a lot of riffraff there. And I think at some point or another, especially in the last few years, I think we all either have gone through or know someone who was in need of HVAC repair, handyman, and then sometimes I'll do a Google search or check the Yelp app or something, and then say, okay, well, based on my Google search, I found this handyman, and I call, and it ends up sending me to a call center that's nationwide. They ask for my city, and they just end up routing me to someone local anyway, so that they can get a commission. And I've noticed that lately, if I've needed sprinklers fixed or house painted or something like that, I end up finding on Facebook, trying to figure out who knows who in my local area. And also, like you were saying, I care more about the news in my town, because there's so much stuff out there, right? You could spend all day, every day, just checking out the news here and there. I care more about what's happening right there in my town. And so this is super cool, because you, as the agency, you build the list, right? You build that Facebook following, you build that email list, so that way you can find out who needs it the most, right? Shop it around and figure out who you can work with. And this is such a cool scenario that you've painted here for us of, let's say it's NFL season, you figure out who's playing who, you have people guess the score, that gets you engagement, that gets you content. And then also that's a kind of devious and a good way strategy we have there is, let's say that you want to help out the local pizza place, and you can give away the gift card to local pizza place, or give away a gift card to say, well, we're the pizza place, but we're going to have this NFL contest and give away a gift certificate to the local dentist. So you can double dip, triple drip, quadruple drip, have a lot of fun with all this. And we're starting to get a little short on time, but one thing that you mentioned that I've been curious about since I met you is this concept of filming, doing a really quick video clip of some local business. I've seen Lance do it. I've seen some of your other students do it, where you'll go to someone in town as a quick foot in the door introduction and film a quick video of them talking about their business, stating things like their address and why to show up, and then posting that. And so I've seen it, but I'm not really sure exactly 100% what the strategy is or what it is. So can you explain that really quick about just like these local videos that you and your students are doing around town?
Yeah, well, yeah. So local business films, right? So going through and doing a local business spotlight video, it's a killer way to get your foot through the door, and it doesn't take very much other than your iPhone or your Android device. You walk through the door, and the way that we typically provide it now is we reach out to people in advance. And it's the very, very same thing that we talked about earlier in the show. Hey, Robert, you've got an amazing business. This is Drew from Pottstown Local, right? So they know right away that, hey, it has something to do with Pottstown, right, in their local area. Listen, you've got an amazing business. We would love to feature you on our magazine, right, on our Facebook page, which we have got an audience. So it's something like this. Hey, Mr. Pizza Shop owner, this is Drew from Pottstown Local. Listen, we love pizza, and we hear a lot of people love your pizza too. We would love to come out and feature your business on our Facebook page. We've got thousands and thousands and thousands of local people who are interested in doing business and learning about businesses such as yours. Would you be up for a 5 to 10 minute interview? And then we shut up, right? So if we're sending them a direct message or an email or a telephone call or something like that, there's only two answers that they're going to give you, yes or no. And 95 to 99% of the time, they're going to say yes. When can we do it, right? Because they understand what it is. And if they don't have a reference, you can always send them a link, and they'll see that, hey, you've got thousands and thousands and thousands of people that are following your stuff. And all you're doing is literally going in and asking them 3 or 4 questions. Hey, Mr. Business Owner, tell us a little bit about Dominic's Pizza, right? Dominic's Pizza is located here at High Street and Westmoreland. We've been serving pizza here in the Pottstown local area, and blah 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 blah. Tell us what your name is. Hey, my name is Dominic Zarilli, or whatever it might be, whatever the person's name is, and I'm the owner and operator of Dominic's Pizza here in the Pottstown local area. Dominic, tell us what is probably the most famous item that you sell here. What's a fan, the fan favorite of Dominic's Pizza? Well, the fan favorite here is our pizza, right? We serve tomato pie, and a lot of people love the pepperoni. People love the cheese pizza. We've got a great personality. We've got a great staff, blah, blah, blah. Dominic, where can people find you online, and where's your physical location? Well, you can reach us at dominicspizza.com or whatever it might be. And you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Dominic's Pizza. We're located here at High Street and Westmoreland, and yada, 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 right? Very short, sweet, to the point video. Well, here's the cool thing. We can either do this live right on Facebook because our mobile devices have this ability, or on the backside of it, we can upload that video, cut it up just a little bit to make sure that it looks really good. Maybe put a little bit of, when the moon hits your eye, like a big pizza pie. That's a more type of music in the background. I don't know the name of that song, but you can make it look very, very professional and just a quick post edit type of production. From there, we're going to upload it to our Facebook page, and guess what our Facebook page has a lot of attention. And what that attention means is views on that video. We can do some pretty cool stuff, like put an advertising dollars behind that video, and now get them potentially thousands and thousands and thousands of views from local Pottstown residents, right? With Facebook advertising, we can say, Facebook, I want you to show this video to people in this zip code, which is the Pottstown local area. And if we put 10, 15, 20 bucks, maybe even $100 or more into this, well, they're going to get results in advance, aren't they? In the form of videos and all that kind of stuff. Maybe even a bunch of people coming to their website, maybe a bunch of people commenting on their page. And then, after we are done watching that or creating that video, and when we're recording that video on spot, we say something like this. Hey, Dominic, listen, we got done recording this video. We're going to do some post-production. We're going to put it up on the Facebook. We would love to come back next week and show you the results. Are you up for meeting for 5-10 minutes? And then you shut up and they say, oh, yeah, of course, I'd love to see it, right? They don't know the results that you're going to get. Well, what's that owner going to do when you show them that you've got 10, 15, 20,000 views on that video, right? And potentially hundreds of comments, positive comments about his restaurant. Hey, we've got some other cool stuff. Would you like to build a list of people that love your stuff that where you can put your offers out in front of them every single week? Your buy one, get one free, or 50% off of one pizza and a stromboli or something like that. Now it goes off in their head. Hey, these guys really know what they're doing. They've already developed results. And by the way, here's the cool thing. Once we start building up a list of people that like pizza, Dominic's Pizza, do you think we can go to the other 10, 15, or other 20 pizza places and say, hey, these are people that love pizza. Maybe they want to try Giovanni's and they want to, check out Argento's and so on and so forth. We've got 10, 15 people. We've already built up an audience for people that love pizza, and we can show them the exact same results. Hey, this is what we did for Dominic's. Would you like the same results? Would it be much easier if you already showed results in advance? And this is the killer way where we're differentiating ourselves from all the other Me Too's that are out there. We've already delivered results, and we've built up an asset for ourselves, all working with pretty much tech that's off the shelf, Facebook, Messenger, email autoresponder. These are not very expensive platforms to work with. It's just about the sequencing and the concept of building up your own asset and then lending the attention of that asset to your local, other local businesses.
This is all super awesome stuff. If anyone goes back and listens to our call a couple of times, there's easily 15, 20 things or little tweaks anyone can make or things to keep in mind as far as getting these local clients, getting an established presence in their local area. And like you said, these are all tools that are either free or very low cost. And it seems like it's a matter of using the technology that's at your disposal, being aware of these problems that these businesses are having, which is they're all starved for attention, and then taking some sort of small action and then keep having that repeat leverage and saying, well, now I'm building the list. I'm not just going to stop there. I'll keep using it again and again. And it seems like another repeat pattern of your thought process here is just getting your foot in the door with something small, right? Not trying to knock it out of the park the first time. You're saying, let me just come in, let me film you a quick video. Is it okay if I come back and show you the results, and just kind of working on them a little bit over time? And this is all really good stuff for us to think about and do. And in a second, I want to tell people, or I get you to tell us about how to take the next step, and how to find out more about this amazing system. But right before we get to that point, I'm sure that some people out there are feeling some kind of fear, right? They're getting anxious, just even thinking about walking in and talking to some local business, right? And I'm sure I'm not the first person to think about or ask about this, but wasn't it kind of scary at first to walk into some business and say, oh, let me get my phone out, let me film you? I mean, I imagine maybe some people are having maybe the slightest hesitation. So is that a matter of like, just go out there and do it, or start small, or partner with someone who's a little more sociable? Like, what would you say if people say, I just want to hide it in my house or my office, and I'm afraid of asking some of these local businesses for a quick video interview? What would you say about that?
Well, Robert, I'm the ugliest dude on the planet, right? And possibly the universe, my alter ego. I wear a very dark helmet and a cape and that sort of thing. And listen, I wasn't any different than anybody else out there. But cash flow is king, and the ability for you to go and connect with local business is either going to make or break your business. So here's the cool thing about this entire system. We teach a way where you've built up the audience first. You have something that local businesses want, right? And here's the cool thing. When you name your local media agency or your local media asset around your local town, you've got instant authority and recognizability, right? So in my area, it's the Pottstown local area, right? When I say Pottstown local news and events, and I contact somebody and say, hey, this is Drew. They don't care who Drew is. They don't care who Drew Griffin is. They care when I say Pottstown local news and events. We would love to feature you on our news and events website. They're going to be starstruck at first. Wait, you want to interview me? Right? They're going to give you permission. We would love to be interviewed by you. You've been given permission. So here's the nervousness, right? You're going to have to go through there the first time, but you've already got that permission. You've got that badge. You've got that authority. You've got that credibility already. We teach you how to build that up first, right? Obviously, the first day, you're not going to go out there and say, hey, I own this thing. And then they go and they reference check you and you've got nothing, right? You've got one person following your page or whatever. If you build this page up to 2, 3, 4, 5,000 people in a local area, that is more than enough for you to have that permission to go through and go connect with them. It goes something like this. Hey, this is Drew from Pottstown Local. I'm here to interview you about your business, right? Next thing is you set your iPhone up on a tripod. Of course, you're going to need a little bit of tech. Maybe even just hold your iPhone out if you really want to go ghetto, right? I call that the ghetto video blueprint. Very, very easy. Hold the iPhone up and you hit record and ask them a few basic questions. Hi, what's your name? What's the name of your business? Why did you start this business? Where can people find you online? Very, very easy questions, that softball questions. You're not asking any scientific algorithms. You're not asking them to code. You're not asking them to, recite the Aeneid, whatever it might be, right? You're just asking them questions that they already know. They know their name. They know the name of their business. They know what their business is all about, and they know where to drive traffic to, right? Either their website or their physical location online. That's it. You don't need to be a mega interviewer or anything like this. If you want to step up your game a little bit, we talk to you about a little bit of the gear that you need, like a tripod, the microphone might make it sound a little bit better, your iPhone, the different apps and all that kind of stuff. Very, very easy off the shelf. If I can do it, anybody out there can do it. Very, very easy. Hit record and you're set to go. Upload it. Listen, over time, your technique and the tech and stuff, all that kind of stuff is going to make it look better. You'll get better with. I'm still working on it. In fact, yesterday I got a comment that said, hey, my audio sucked. And it did. It absolutely did, but it didn't matter because I still got that person, several hundred views in the first couple of hours. That's all they cared about. is getting the views and their name out there. Of course, I want to do a better job in the production, but that comes over time. And quite frankly and transparently, I just didn't have my gear with me, which obviously caused the video quality to be, not as great. So obviously, you just have to think about some of these things in advance. And of course, when you set them up, you take your gear with you, and obviously the production is much better. But it just, when you have something of value to provide in advance, then you can turn around and leverage that to your advantage. And that they didn't know me from anybody, but they recognized my town name, and they heard news, they heard events. That's what they cared about. It's like GQ magazine or something like that coming out and saying, Drew, we know that you're the ugliest dude on the planet, but we still want to interview you and do a full body shot, which is a really, really bad idea. But still, it's the same type of thing. Like, hey, we all have skeletons, we all have imperfections, all that kind of stuff. Leveraging that authority, it's the Oprah effect. When you can leverage a media company, you can get your foot through the door a lot quicker and then start to develop that relationship down the road with all the cool stuff that probably all your listeners are into and know how to do.
Super awesome. So this is great. This is huge. So what you're saying is that we are to approach these businesses as a news and events website. We're not that marketing agency. We're not trying to sell them. We are attempting to feature them, and we shouldn't overcomplicate it, even though that's really tempting and easy to do. And you even laid out like pretty much the exact template. Just like follow the script, especially your first time around, and it will get easier, and you'll get less nervous as you do it. But what's most important is to take some action, start small, start simply, follow the template. And what's also really great about what you and David do is you have this course, you have this system, you tell us what to do. There's also a whole support system within your program, right? There's a whole Facebook group, so we can see what everyone else is doing. We can ask for help. So it's not even like we have to go it alone, correct?
That's right. There's a community of people that are much smarter than I am, and much handsomer than I am, and much prettier than I am. They're super smart people. That group is called Delicious Local Marketing Hacks. Easiest way to do that, we invite you to come in. Nothing to buy from us at all. If you want to kind of investigate stuff there, we promote that course inside there. Best way to do that is head over to deliciousmarketing.io/go/group, and that'll take you directly into our online group, completely free to join. And we talk about LMA a lot in there. If you want a direct link to the actual replay, with the concept of what we're doing, it's LMA, like L is in Larry, M is in Mo, A is in Andrew, class.com/replay. And you can watch 45 minutes or an hour of us kind of talking, breaking down this entire process completely for free. Of course, if you want to take the course, or you can pick it up or not. Either which way is completely fine. But yeah, come on over if you've got any interest in local marketing hacks type of stuff. We've got that and so much more. People doing some pretty cool stuff. In fact, Robert, you've got one that's going. Your business partner Lance has LMA growing as well, and various types of niches. And we're learning about more about what you guys are doing the same way. And we're just absolutely amazed by the continued support that you provide to us, as well as all the cool stuff that you're promoting out there, like your book and your software. It's really just been a privilege to meet your acquaintance and to be friends.
Super awesome. Well, you're making me blush, and it's a two-way street, right? It's like kind of like the way we started is you and David are all about having that abundance mindset. It would be easy to keep your cards close to the chest and not really teach very much, but you lay it all on the table. You say, here's what we have going on. We want to help you get to where you want to go. It's a lot easier if there's a step-by-step course, because then that way you don't just get a few blips on the radar. You get the whole thing start to finish, but it doesn't just stay statically in one place. I mean, with all this internet stuff and all the apps and the platforms and social media, it changes so much so quickly. And so everyone benefits, right? Because you create this course, you have these students that apply things in different ways, and then you can absorb some of that and teach it to everyone else. And then other students pick that up and have their own ways of adapting. I mean, I think that's a much more modern way of going about it, and just being generous with your information and showing what is working. And then people can be so impressed by how much you give away for free that they'll say, if I'm getting this for free, imagine what I'll get inside lmaclass.com. And so to recap those URLs there, that is deliciousmarketing.io/go/group, so that people can get a taste and see what's happening. And as you said, me and Lance are your students as well. We both pay you. We both have local media assets. That's how much we believe in that. And what's also great, which we didn't have time to mention, we won't unpack it too much, but these local Facebook pages don't even have to be super huge in numbers. I mean, mine and Lance's pages are only about 2,000. I see that some of the pages that you have are only 2,000 or 3,000, but you make a post, you get hundreds of comments, and that's what Facebook wants, right? Facebook wants you to have a high percentage of people who are rabidly active in your group. They don't want you to have a 100,000 person page and you post something and you get 2 likes. They want you to have, you post something and most of your viewership takes action, and they're all in town and they love it. And again, everybody wins there. So that is deliciousmarketing.io/go/group. And then to get the spiel, get the skinny on what this local media assets thing is all about that we've been discussing, go to lmaclass.com/replay to watch that video and find out what all the fuss is about. And if you say, I've got so many ideas now, I'm so impressed, I can see where I'm not completely going wrong, but maybe I've been off on the wrong track there, trying to do the knocking on all the doors and trying to say, pay me money. Why won't you pay me money? Why not build your own local publication? Why not deliver these results in advance? Why not approach these businesses saying, I have a platform, I have an audience, I want to help introduce them to you, and get your foot in the door and actually build a real relationship. Don't just try to make it work, or don't try to rely on luck or being super aggressive. Just be yourself, help out these businesses. That seems like a much better way to go. So lmaclass.com/replay. So anything coming to mind as far as parting words here, Drew, as far as just like anything to wrap things up here and get people super excited to take some action and make this thing happen?
Yeah, well, listen, first of all, thank you so much for the opportunity to hang out with you here on your amazing podcast. It's really been a privilege to, call you a friend, and honored to be here. Listen, take the opportunity to invest in yourself. And this process doesn't, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't cost a lot of money. But if you invest in yourself and you build out your own asset, there's a lot of fringe benefits that come from this. Kind of some fun stuff like getting press passes and getting behind the scenes to connect with real stuff that's happening in your community, get to games, go to events and all that kind of stuff, and really cover it from a position of press. Right? Press in a little bit of a different way. You can compete against multi-million-dollar and even billion-dollar organizations with a simple Facebook page, a website, and a list. Right? A messenger list and an email list. And if that excites you, we encourage you, come hang out, maybe talk to some other people. We love seeing people take action. And when they get results with this, it becomes addictive. It's so awesome when people can truly cross that bridge of a client chasing merry-go-round to where those clients start to come to them in a very fruitful relationship. And when you see those results, we couldn't be more happy to see the success that people are having and the fun that they're actually having connecting with these local businesses and residents in their local areas. That's what it's about. You can extend that, into the other cool stuff that you guys are doing. And even if you don't buy anything from us, come over and check out what we've got going on. We'd love to have you, love to learn a little bit more about you and your business. Just take an opportunity to solve problems in and around your community. I think this is a great way to create a foundation and a platform that you own. And the cool thing about assets is they're always willable and sellable. So that's a pretty cool way to look at it as well.
Yeah, I love it. And you're so right that it's not only a sellable asset, but it's also fun as you do it. And you out there at Podcast Land, you can join in on the fun and see what the fun everyone else is having by going to deliciousmarketing.io/go/group. Just think about how much time you're already spending on Facebook. arguing politics or watching cat photos, why not put that into something constructive that makes you money, that builds your business, that makes you have fun? So deliciousmarketing.io/go/group. Even me and Lance are in there. So if you want to join there and say hey, hi to me and say hi to Drew and say hi to David, deliciousmarketing.io/go/group. And we will see you there. And thanks for taking the time today, Drew.
Robert, you're the best. Thanks so much.